I'll never forget the day my world came crashing down. It wasn't because of an accident or because I lost something material. It was because of her, someone I once called my best friend. Her name was Mia, and for years she was the person I trusted more than anyone else. The person who knew every corner of my heart, every dream I whispered in the dark, every fear I tried to hide. She wasn't just my friend, she was my other half. Or so I thought. It's strange how betrayal doesn't knock on your door with thunder. It comes softly, disguised as love and laughter, until it quietly takes everything you have. That morning had started like any other. The sun was warm, my heart was light, and my dreams were finally coming true. I had just received an offer letter from my dream company, the kind of job that changes not just your career, but your entire life. The moment I read that email, I could feel tears sting my eyes. All those sleepless nights, all that hard work, finally worth it. And the first person I told wasn't my family. It was Mia. She screamed with excitement, sent a dozen heart emojis, and promised we'd celebrate that night. I smiled, thinking I had the best friend in the world. I didn't know that behind her congratulations, jealousy was already spreading like poison. Mia and I had been inseparable since college. Everyone knew us as the unbeatable pair, the quiet dreamer and the charming talker. We studied together, shared food, shared secrets. If one of us failed, the other stayed up all night to help. But somewhere along the way, I started to notice small cracks. She would laugh a little too loudly when I stumbled. Her compliments started sounding like questions. "You really think you can handle that position?" she'd say, half smiling. I brushed it off because I loved her too much to believe she could ever hurt me. The job was a big deal. A global company, full benefits, a clear ladder to success. Mia had applied to, but they chose me. I thought we'd celebrate like always, to friends against the world. But that night, when I told her the good news, her hug felt different. It was warm on the outside, but hollow inside, like she was already calculating something. I didn't see it then, but she had already decided she wanted everything that belonged to me. Over the next few days, she became oddly helpful. She insisted on helping me with the onboarding process, my documents, my relocation papers. She even asked for copies of my ID and personal information, saying she'd help me fill forms faster. I thought it was sweet. But looking back now, I see how foolishly trusting I was. She wasn't helping me. She was studying me, preparing to become me. A week before my joining date, I got a call from the company. The voice on the other side was cold and distant. They said they had received an email from me. Rejecting the job offer, I froze. My stomach dropped. "That's impossible," I said, my voice trembling. But they had proof, a signed rejection letter with my name and digital signature. I rushed to my laptop, trying to log into my account, but my password had been changed. My access was gone. My dream gone, just like that. I remember that night vividly. Sitting on my bed, staring at the blank wall, whispering to myself, who could do this to me? My hands were shaking, my heart was pounding, and for the first time in years, I felt completely alone. And then the door opened. Mia walked in, holding coffee, acting calm. "Hey," she said softly, "maybe it's a sister mistake. Don't worry, you'll fix it." She sat beside me, pretending to comfort me, pretending to care. But when I looked into her eyes for that 1 second, I saw something dark. A flicker of satisfaction. A hint of victory. And I knew she didn't want me to fix it. 2 weeks later, the truth came crashing down. A mutual friend called, sounding nervous. She said Mia had landed a new job. I smiled at first, happy for her, until she said the name of the company. It was my company, my position, my future. Mia had taken it all. She had used the access I gave her, changed my email, forged letters, and submitted her own credentials under my name. The company had no idea. Why would they shed all my documents? My entire identity was in her hands. I confronted her the next day. But I stood outside her apartment, shaking with anger and disbelief. When she opened the door, she didn't even look surprised. She smirked, leaned against the doorframe, and said, "You always get everything. This time it's my turn." I wanted to scream, to cry, to do something, but I couldn't, because in that moment I realized that nothing hurts more than betrayal from the one person you thought would never hurt you. That night I cried until I couldn't breathe. But somewhere between those tears, a voice whispered inside me, "You took my life, Mia, but I'll take it back, without ever laying a hand on you." From that night on, I went silent. No posts, no anger, no desperate texts, just silence. But inside that silence, I was building something, a quiet war. I started gathering evidence. Every text, every email, every single message where she had pretended to help me. I backed up my data, recovered old access logs with the help of my cousin who worked in cybersecurity. And then I started watching her. Carefully, Mia couldn't resist showing off. She updated her social media constantly, posting pictures from the new office, tagging the company, flashing her access card like a trophy. That was her mistake. She was proud of a life she didn't earn, and pride, I realized, would be the crack I'd use to break her. I created a new email, anonymous, untraceable, and from there I sent a detailed letter to the company's HR department. Not emotional, not bitter, just factual, with screenshots, dates, and documents that proved every lie she had told. I didn't mention my name. I didn't need to. The truth was enough. A month later, I got to watch her world fall apart. It started during a live-streamed meeting. She looked confident, radiant, until her face suddenly changed. Her phone buzzed once, then twice. Her expression shifted from proud to pale. Within hours, she vanished from social media. Later, I found out the company had discovered everything. They didn't make a scene. They didn't need to. They quietly revoked her contract, blacklisted her, and froze her account. I didn't answer her calls. I didn't reply to her messages. I wanted her to sit in the same silence she had left me in, to taste what it felt like to lose everything because of someone. As betrayal, and while she fell, I rose again. Weeks later, I got an unexpected email. It was from the company. They had investigated everything, and now they knew the truth. They apologized. They said the position was still open for me, the rightful candidate. I walked into that office not as a victim, but as a survivor. Not as someone who lost her life, but as someone who reclaimed it, quietly, gracefully, and completely. Mia disappeared after that. I don't know where she went, and I never asked. Because the truth is, I didn't need to destroy her. Her own envy did that for me. She thought stealing my job would give her my life. But what she didn't understand was my life wasn't about the position or the salary. It was about integrity, and that's something she could never fake. In the end, I learned something powerful. Revenge doesn't always need noise or violence. Sometimes the best revenge is patience, silence, and truth. You let the universe do its work, you let the lies collapse under their own weight. She stole my life, but I took hers back without ever touching her, because sometimes karma doesn't come with thunder. It comes quietly, wearing a calm smile, just like the one I wore. The day I finally got my life back.